The country of Turkey, or Turkiye, is a republic since April 20th, 1924, and its first president was Mustafa Kemal Atartuk. Turkey is located in between the Arab continent and the European continent. Its borders are surrounded by Syria, Iraq, Armenia, Georgia, Bulgaria, and Greece. Turkey is also one of the countries located on the Black Sea and the Mediterranean Sea. Istanbul is the capital, while Ankara is the administrative center. Turkey is often associated with the history of the Ottoman Turkish Empire and the story of the glory of the city of Constantinople under the leadership of Sultan Muhammad Al Fateh. Since independence, Turkey has adopted a parliamentary republic system of government. The president is appointed by the parliament to exercise authority as the head of state, while the prime minister is the head of government administration. However, starting in 2018, election of the president must be done through elections, and Recep Tayyip Erdogan was the first individual to win the position. In this video, we will see how Erdogan was appointed as the supreme leader and how he led the country of Turkey. Keep watching. Starting his career as a politician, Erdogan was born and raised in Rize, Turkey. When he was 13 years old, Erdogan moved to Istanbul with his family. He started getting involved in politics in 1976 when he joined the National Association of Turkish Students. Erdogan then held several important positions in Istanbul until in 1994, where he ran for the position of mayor of Istanbul on the ticket of the Welfare Party. The results of the election went in favor of Erdogan when he managed to get 25.19% of the popular vote. However, in 1998, he went through a dark moment in his political career when he was found guilty of causing tension among religious groups. This accusation is linked to his act of reading a controversial poem in front of a large audience. Found guilty and sentenced to 10 months in prison, Erdogan resigned as mayor of Istanbul. After serving 4 months in prison, Erdogan was then released. He returned to the national political arena through Virtue Party, a party founded by Ismail Alpkine. Some of the main leaders of the party are former members of the Welfare Party, a party led by Dr. Erbakan, which was banned by the government in 1998. After 2 years, Erdogan's political journey was once again interrupted when the Virtue Party was banned. This ban was made on the alleged existence of a conflict of articles in Turkish secular law. Not wanting to take more risks, Erdogan chose to distance himself from Erbakan and joined with several other political leaders to form the Justice and Development Party, AKP. The establishment of this party was well received by the community. During the elections held in 2002, the AKP party managed to control 34% of the parliamentary seats. This result is far behind other parties such as the People's Republic Party, CHP, 19%, and the Democratic Left Party, DSP, which is the party led by Bülent Ecevit, 1%. Due to the severe defeat, Bülent Ecevit, who was the prime minister at the time, had to resign and was replaced by Abdullah Gül, a representative from the AKP party. A year later, Abdullah Gül stepped down as prime minister and was subsequently replaced by Recep Tayyip Erdogan. He was officially appointed to the position on May 14, 2003. The AKP party continues to gain the trust of most of the population and managed to maintain victory in the 2007 and 2011 elections. Erdogan has also managed to maintain his position as prime minister for 3 consecutive terms. Elected as president. The Turkish constitution stipulates that the president can hold office for only 3 terms. Thus, Erdogan had decided to run in the presidential election. Previously, the president of Turkey was elected by the support of members of parliament. However, in accordance with the constitutional amendment made in 2007, the election of the new president must be done through elections directly chosen by the people. On July 1, 2014, the vice president of the AKP party, Mehmet Ali Şahin, announced Erdogan as the candidate representing the AKP party to run for the new presidency of Turkey. The first round of the presidential election saw Erdogan win 51.79% of the vote, exceeding the required 50% vote. His competitor, Ekmelettin, only got 38.44% of the vote, while Selahattin got 9.76% of the vote. The results of the election saw Erdogan successfully elected as the first president of Turkey, who was elected directly by the people. He was officially appointed as the 12th president of Turkey on August 29, 2014. What Erdogan has done to Turkey. There were several important things that have been done by Erdogan throughout his leadership of Turkey. At times, the decisions made are widely criticized by many parties. Withdrawing the hijab ban. One of them is withdrawing the hijab ban that has been enforced since 1980. The law prohibits women wearing the hijab from entering government buildings, schools, universities, and libraries. Efforts to withdraw the hijab ban were made by Erdogan, and finally on February 7, 2008, the Turkish parliament approved an amendment to the bill allowing women to wear the hijab in universities. The amendment of the motion was successful for the first time, with a total of 403 votes in favor and 107 against. However, some of the Turkish community opposed the amendment. Thousands of protesters gathered around parliament to protest the motion. After failing in 2008, the AKP party leader again proposed the same motion in 2010. On October 8, 2013, the law banning hijab was finally lifted. The enforcement of this law allows women to wear the hijab in educational institutions and government buildings, but does not include the military and police. In 2014, female students were allowed to wear the hijab in secondary schools, followed by the police force in 2016. In 2017, the military agency was the last government agency to lift restrictions on hijab wearing women. From then onwards, there is no longer hijab ban in Turkey. Changing the status of Hagia Sophia. On July 24, 2020, Erdogan changed the status of Hagia Sophia from a museum to a mosque. Religious activities for Muslims are led by Erdogan himself by reading the holy verses of the Quran and holding congregational prayers. However, this change of status received criticism from several parties, especially Western countries, because they claimed that Hagia Sophia was once a church before it was converted into a mosque during the heyday of the Ottoman Turkish Empire. Erdogan did not bow to such pressure, but instead stayed with the decision to reopen Hagia Sophia as a mosque. Changing Turkey to Turkiye. Erdogan has been mobilizing efforts to change the name of Turkey to Turkiye since December 2021. This name change is one of the rebranding efforts of Turkey in the eyes of the world. Erdogan said that Turkiye reflects the country's culture, civilization, and values. This change was also made because Turkey refused to be equated with the traditional menu of Turkish chicken, which is associated with Christmas, New Year, and Thanksgiving celebrations. Therefore, on June 1, 2022, the Turkish government, through Foreign Minister Mevlut Cavusoglu, sent an official letter of request to the United Nations, UN, to request the change of name. After 2 days of submission, the UN approved the request to change the name of Turkey to Turkiye. The UN spokesman, Stefan Dujarric, stated that the change came into effect immediately after the international organization received the official application submitted by Mevlut Cavusoglu. Since then, the term Turkiye is widely used not only within the country, but even around the world. International organizations and any affairs related to the country must use the name Turkiye, and the pronunciation Turkey is no longer used. Survived from the coup. On the night of July 15, 2016, a group of members of the Turkiye army carried out a movement to overthrow the government led by Erdogan. Soldiers filled the main streets of Istanbul using military tanks and trucks. The headquarters of the ruling party was attacked, and the parliament building in Ankara was bombed using military aircraft. Several of the country's top leaders were arrested, including the country's top security officer, Hulusi Akar. When the coup took place, Erdogan reportedly survived because he was on vacation in a city located in southwestern Turkey. Erdogan canceled his vacation and immediately returned to the capital. As the situation worsened, the television station CNN Turk managed to contact Erdogan via the FaceTime application, and he called on people to take to the streets to thwart the coup attempt. Most Turkish responded to Erdogan's call at that time. They had used anything to oppose the military forces. Finally, the coup was declared a failure, and efforts to arrest the military officers were set in motion. As a result of the event, at least 125,000 people consisting of government officials, security personnel, lawyers, academics, and individuals of various backgrounds were arrested on various charges. Turkiye on the brink of economic crisis. The economic situation in Turkiye is currently quite worrying because the value of the lira currency, which is the official currency used in Turkiye, has experienced a sharp decline. In early 2017, $1 equals 3.531 lira. However, the value of this currency decreased little by little, and at the end of 2020, the exchange rate for $1 reached 7.391 lira. By September 2022, $1 is equivalent to around 18.42 lira. This means that the lira currency has experienced a decline of 80% since 2017. The fall in its value is linked to the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, which has caused disruption of many economic activities. The war between Russia and Ukraine has also worsened the situation. The Erdogan-led government in recent months has made several efforts to save the economy. Among them is raising the minimum wage rate twice in a year. The increase in the minimum wage rate was made to compensate for the declining purchasing power of consumers due to inflation. In conclusion, Turkiye has gone through a lot of changes under the leadership of Erdogan. Recep Tayyip Erdogan is a very determined leader in establishing Turkiye as a world power leader, despite some opposition from Western countries. However, the economic turmoil that is hitting the world now presents a great challenge to the leaders of countries around the world, including Turkiye under the leadership of Erdogan. Thank you for watching.